In our early days, we made this foolish mistake to ask from the copyright owners that, okay, is it okay if we use these Tolkien names and titles and everything? And the answer was like, no.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now. Jyri from BATTLELORE, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a while, and I'm sure that that's the question a lot of people get. I believe that was Tommy who said, back in 2011, it just wasn't fun anymore, and therefore we had to go on a break. It's fun again today?
Yes, it's fun again, and that was nicely said from Tommy. It wasn't fun again, fun back then, so we had to put a break for our mental health, and because we didn't have the motivation or anything, so we guess that we had to take a break, but we didn't plan it to last over 10 years.
Now, it didn't last a full 10 years before we saw you again. There were some reunion shows, or I wouldn't necessarily call it a reunion because the band technically didn't split up, but a comeback shows that we saw in 2016. The reaction to those shows, both in Finland and some festivals, were pretty good. I remember you guys playing at the Female Voices Fest in Belgium as well. But it wasn't a new start that a lot of people were kind of expecting or hoping. Why not?
Yeah, we also thought that, okay, now it's time for the new album, but the hype just wasn't enough for us. We made ourselves a promise that when we are going to do the new album, it will be without stress, no compromises. We don't have any obligations to anyone. We just need to enjoy it and have fun. Mm-hmm. And if any one of us feels that, okay, now it's not the time, then we are not going to make the album. That I really wanted that we don't have to struggle in the studio or with the songs or anything, and I wanted that all the members in the band, they are enjoying it, doing it. So I guess that we were ready back then, but it just didn't start. Seasons of
gold. When we now have a new album coming, and that album is called The Return of the Shadow. Now, for sure, there is that title, has a lot of relevance in the world of Tolkien, but in a way could also be interpreted that this is a bit of a statement that the band is in fact back, and that we shouldn't think it's just, here's an album, we'll play a show, and then we're gone again for 10 years.
Yeah. The title we know that there's more than one meaning in it. The Return of the Shadow. Of course, it's the return of our band, and it's also original title for the Fellowship of the Rings, Tolkien's first book of the Lord of the Rings. But then he decided to use the Fellowship of the Rings title. So I guess that it really fits for this album because of our comeback. We are back, and this Tolkien related stuff in it, so it was an easy choice for the album title.
And using let's call it work in progress titles of books of Tolkien is not new to BATTLELORE, obviously, because what many people that read the books and watch the movies now might not know is that BATTLELORE itself was a working title for Tolkien at some point for the books, right? So maybe actually a question about Tolkien, or the clear passion for Tolkien that has flowed through all of your work. Now, I know that you've not only stuck to that, but let's say that it is the very clear constant. There's there's always a lot of people involved in BATTLELORE. Is everybody that joined the band or has joined the band over the years, have they always been as, you know, passionate about that work as everybody else in the band, or are recently converted people welcome to join the team? How does that go?
No, it's not like that you have to be like a Tolkien maniac like I was back in the days. I really about his works, and all in the band knows Tolkien's works and his books, but they are not like hardcore fans. Some of them are, but not. We have 7 members in the band, so obviously it would have been like impossible to have only hardcore Tolkien's fans as a member in BATTLELORE. So of course you have to handle your instrument or vocals and stuff like that. And our band plays Tolkien metal. Everyone knew that when they joined our band, and but for me it's more like a thing from the heart.
Given that there are a couple of Tolkien maniacs in the band, I'm a big fan of Tolkien myself. Grew up obviously reading the books. Although Tolkien is extremely detailed about a lot of things, there's a lot of things in his world that are somewhat glanced over, or there's not a lot of information is given. Does that mean that, you know, when you guys are either in the studio or on tours, some people, you know, spend the whole night discussing you know, what they think is the right answer to an unanswered question?
Yeah, for sure. And with fans we've seen that there are some hardcore fans who are like, if it happens that we make a mistake with our lyrics or stuff like that, those are noted quite quickly. And also I like to discuss about the things, and it also gives all those details in Tolkien's works. It gives also us a room, not only sing about the Frodo and the ring, and and maybe some people don't really understand that. They are asking that how come is it possible to make like 7 albums from the Lord of the Rings? No, it's not only from the Lord of the Rings or the ring and stuff like that. It's about the whole world, and it's all the story ends are not finished, and so you can use your imagination or whatever with his detailed work. So it's like there are countless. In our early days, we made this foolish mistake to ask from the copyright owners that, okay, is it okay if we use these Tolkien names and titles and everything? And the answer was like, no, not at all. You can't do that. And well, okay, we knew that there's a lot of bands, much bigger bands than we are. We are singing about Tolkien. Okay, they are not sued or not in trouble, so maybe we aren't either. So we decided to continue with using all the names and stuff like that, and we really weren't worried about it. Some of our friends or colleagues have asked that, okay, isn't it illegal to use like a titles or something like that? Well, maybe is it, but it's not like that we are making $1 million out of it. So I guess that suing us, it's just a waste of time. You will never get your money because we don't have anywhere to pay.
If there are certain periods in the band's history that were not the nicest, how do you look to those songs? Is that a challenge to revisit those songs when you go play live, or can you separate that completely?
Fortunately, I personally don't have any that kind of bad feelings about the albums or of those bad times or struggling times. So it's not a problem for me, or I guess that it's not a problem for the band either. But and also we have this our 7th album, so we have so much material that where to choose the live set. So so it's quite easy to get all the favorite songs on your live sets.
On this album, there is also the bonus EP, and that brings us back to the, let's call it the brief comeback in 2016, because the way I understand it is that the 3 songs on the bonus EP were written at that time versus the rest of the album is more recent, or was the entire album kind of worked on over the last 6 years?
No, 2 of the songs of the EP are made like in the very beginning of our break, so it was like 2011, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Those are that old, and the 3rd song that's from the 2016, I guess. And those songs were like they have this much older tune in our ears, and they are like from our past. And the songs on the main album, those are like newer stuff, which were made, what would I say, between 2018 to 2021, I guess. The EP and the album is recorded in the same session, so sound-wise they are similar. But the feeling in those EP songs, they are so in our past that we wanted to release those songs as a separate package, and someone would say that okay, those fit perfectly for the other songs as in the album, but we didn't want to release them as the same, because it
would be genuine.
We didn't felt so, but on the other hand, we didn't want to save them in our drawer for some other day, because we wanted to make this comeback from the clear table. No skeletons in the closets or old stuff. So we wanted to put everything out, and so that's why there is this bonus EP.
But Ed, there is a new album. Napalm is, extremely supportive of the band. There's a lot of buzz being created. Part of that was also a very well-produced video for the Elvenking. You being such a, what's cooler for you as a fan, having the artistic freedom to write songs about the world that you love, or seeing a team bring some of that to life in a visual way, like with that video, because that came out pretty well?
Yeah, it was great. The Markku Kirves, who directed the video and made the screenplay and everything, it was his decision that we would make a video with the storyline. We want in the first place we wanted to make let's do something not so risky. We come back, we don't know our value. The record label, they don't know are there any fans left or what's happening. Of course we believe that this is going to go well, but there's always this big but. 10 years is a long time, but Markku encouraged us to let's do it in a, how would you say, in a hard way. Let's put some high fantasy in that video and the story stuff and everything's okay. Let's do it. It didn't take long to convince me with it, and it turned out very well. And Markku, he's a real professional with his stuff, and it was really exciting to see the first edit of the video, because I had the script, but I wasn't involved in the shooting, so I really didn't know what's going to happen and how are the actors or anything, because there is always a chance that you blew it up. It could be corny or childish or things like that, but I guess it really fits in our mood of the song, and with the new album, it's a great outcome.
You're going to take this new album two stages, in many different areas. We've seen some announcements for festivals. What all the fans watching this video, what can you tell us? What should they know about your plans?
Plans. Well, we had to plan to tour with the album, but the pandemic ruined it. And in this point, we are a little bit late for the foreign shows. For this summer, we are playing some festivals in Finland, and hopefully we'll get touring in a fall. And we had a plan to make touring. Of course, we planned it carefully with our record label. They are doing also the band bookings and organizing tours. So then the pandemic, when it went like this, on and off, you can travel, you can't play gigs, It was really uncertain. So it kind of ruined our plans for the tour. But I really hope that there's going to be some good festivals and gigs in later this year. But in summer we are going to mainly play in Finland.
Okay, great. So the fans will just have to find a way to travel to the country of 1,000 lakes. Fantastic. Okay, well, Jyri, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's exciting to have you guys back and properly back now. That's a lot of fun for people like myself who, started, listening to your band when you guys got started more than 10 years ago, almost 20 years ago. So that's really exciting. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I wish you the very best with the release of this album.
Thanks a lot for the interview. It was a pleasure.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.